But our friends over at Cube Cola, who we just discovered, they're in the UK, they had a lot of trouble getting an emulsion. So they discovered a couple little tricks that we never discovered because we didn't really need to. We had a pretty good emulsion from the start. But one of the things they found is that the oils are, of course, alcohol soluble, which means they will dissolve in alcohol, which is why I mentioned the vodka earlier. So I'm just going to take a milliliter of vodka. So this is, we probably don't even need a milliliter. I'm using a milliliter as a nice number here. So I'm going to soak up a little bit of the vodka. And then that's, suck up a little, and that's a milliliter right there. So this is going to be, in the whole 2 liters, you're going to have 1 milliliter of vodka. You can do it without this step. We have found that it works quite well, and thank you to the Cube Cola people for discovering that. So as soon as you put it into the liquid, you can start seeing a change in the oil, whereas before you had these separate different layers of oils that weren't combining. Now suddenly they all combine into a very nice, smooth mixture. So we found that the final flavor note of the product created this way is a lot more smoother than what we had before. Before, you could taste the individual flavor notes, the orange, the lemon, the lime, throughout the product. This way smooths it out so that you get one flavor note rather than several small notes. It's kind of like playing notes on the piano, whether you play them all individually at once, really quickly, or just play them at once. So let's move on to creating the emulsion. We're going to take you over now to the station. We usually have the station for the oils and the station for the mixing of the soda. Okay, so here we are at the station we use for mixing everything up, and as you see, we have a nice surface here that's going to be easy to clean up on because it gets messy. Creating cola is a very, very messy process. So we have our flavor oils, which we just mixed, and we have a couple other things here we're going to use. So here's the gum arabic that I was talking about earlier. That is what you use to create emulsion. Now, what we use is this tick gum, tickgums.com, and this is industrial sized, industrial strength gum arabic. This is actually what is used by professional companies for making cola. This is gum arabic Bev 202, and this is actually a sample size, but this lasts just about a year. That's several 5-gallon kegs worth, several test batches worth, and a bunch of tests that just went wrong we threw away. We're almost due for getting another sample, and eventually if we have enough we'll start buying from them, I'm sure, but they're quite willing to send us samples as long as you have a company name. We have a company that will get it for us, and so the reason we use the tick gum rather than what you can get at some of the cake and candy supply stores is the gum arabic has some unique properties, and you can find the link on the website as to what I'm referring to. I won't go into that much detail here, but if you use regular gum arabic, you basically have to let it sit for 24 hours in water in order to use it for the oil. This is specially designed so that you can instantly use it. I've heard some other stuff called instant gum arabic. I don't know that much about the instant gum arabics to know if that's what this is or not, but that's why we use the tick gum, is because we can use it right in its powder form and it works well. The gum arabic adds no flavor whatsoever to the taste of the cola. The only requirement with the gum arabic is that you have enough gum arabic to grab onto the whatever flavor oils you have, which is pretty much as much by weight gum arabic as you have of the oils. Really hard to measure, so we usually overestimate, and again, it adds no taste to the cola whatsoever. So I think we figured out it was about 1/10 of a teaspoon you need. We use a full teaspoon for the 5-gallon kegs. I'm actually only going to probably go. This is a 1/4 teaspoon here, and I'm going to use about 1/8 of a teaspoon. So more than we need, but that's okay. So I'm going to put it in our mixing vessel. I'll explain more about the mixing vessel in a second here. And then we need about 20 milliliters of water. In this step, you don't want too much water, otherwise it's going to go over the vessel. Let me clean this out a little bit here. So we're going to put about 20 milliliters, maybe a little bit less. We just want to get the emulsion started. I'm going to pour that in there and then mix this up a little bit. And then the gum arabic dissolves in the water right away. So this is another cube cola find, is when you mix the gum arabics, when you mix the oil with the gum arabic, you want to create as small of oil droplet size as possible. In the industrial corporation production methodology, they actually have blades that have microscopic blades that rub against the oil, and the oil is pumped through here at a high speed, and it just cuts it up, and so that you have an oil droplet size of like 0.01 micron or something like that. I don't know the actual size off the top of my head, but it's really, really small. The oil droplet size we get from this methodology is much larger, which is why you can taste the flavor notes so much more, and why we use the vodka to try to smooth that out. So what we need is shear force, and shear force is rubbing one surface against another and then sticking something in between that to shear it apart. We want to try to break those oil droplets into as small as particles as possible. We used to use a blender. We would fill up the blender with just enough water to cover the blades and then hit it. This does a nice job of mixing, but it doesn't really shear the particles unless they're exactly hitting the blade, and there's about that much water in the blender. It doesn't do a real good job of shearing. So the Cube Cola people found how to create a nice way of shearing, and that's the methodology we're going to use today. So what they recommend is getting a vessel that's just big enough for a whisk and drill. And they actually use a corded drill. I have a very nice professional cordless drill that seems to be doing just fine with me, with a whisk attached as such. And the whisk just barely fits into the vessel we have here. The vessel is a coffee cup with a nice rounded bottom, so that this pretty much fits this exactly. They recommend getting the emulsion started and pouring the oil in while you have it going here, which is hard to accomplish by oneself. They have two people. Today just doing this by myself, so I'm going to stick this in the corner here. I'm going to try to not get in your way. So I have this in the corner here, and I'm going to get my emulsion or my blender started up here. Pouring my oils. And then we're just going to put the spurs to it here. And that's why you don't want much liquid at all. You want to get as much shearing as possible against that. And since we're only doing a test batch size here, we don't actually need that much. If you're doing a full batch size, you're going to want to use a larger vessel and put the spurs to a lot longer. And my drill has just fallen apart. That's okay. So I think that's a pretty good emulsion right there. So here we are. We got a nice little emulsion going, and looks pretty blended and whatnot. So now we can begin building the test batch size.